What is up, everybody? It's your boy Bruce Wolf back with you again in Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind update. Alright, so today we're going to do a new build video for you for Utility Warden. Strong in heals, decent DPS, and a lot of different buffs and all that stuff you can do. First disclaimer on this is a build I've used it for veteran dungeons, including Imperial prisons and White Gold Tower. And on veteran, it's been very successful as a main healer for that, but I have not taken it into trials as a healer main, so can't vouch on it very much, but it is a blast to play, and I wanted to put it out as a possible thing to build towards if you haven't played in Morrowind yet, and you are wanting to build a Warden healer. This is an idea of what to build for, an idea of how to make it work. So first off, just why it's called the Spiderman. Yoink! You get this, and you gotta admit, that's fun. It's a blast. Alright, so let's be serious. In champion points, I do not have max, so there's room for improvement here. We'll start over here. In the lady, I'm rocking 49 and 49 hardy and elemental defender. That is about 11% mitigation there. 23 in ironclad for 10% mitigation for direct damage. As I get more CP, I will be going into thick skinned for more deep mitigation on that, and I'll probably end up getting 49 in both thick skinned and ironclad, as well as the case go on, and spend the extra 2 points just wherever, I guess. Over here in the green tree, I'm rocking 75 in Arcanist for that even 70 or 14 increase, and I'm rocking 46 in tumbling for roll dodge being decreased. I end up using it a lot. It's part of the routine, and I will show it to you guys shortly. In the blue one, I am doing 64 in blessed to increase my healing done by 13%, Elfborn to increase my critical healing by 5%, and I'm doing some staff expert for an extra 9% damage on my heavy attack. Also, of course, 31% in Thaumaturge for 13%, because pretty much all of your damage skills with this build are dots. Okay, out of that, into inventory. Currently, I am using Necropotence as a 4 set for that massive boost of Maximum Magicka. Twiceborn Star as my 5 set with maximum health and maximum for all the resources, and the ability to have 2 Mundus Stones. I am using Infernal Guardian's Guide and Troll King for a little bit more healing done. Best in slot with this, I think, is going to be Twiceborn Star and Spell Power Cure, which is this set right here, which is 2 sets of Maximum Magicka, a little bit of spell damage, and when you heal a friendly target that is at 100% health, you have 50% chance to increase their weapon and spell damage by 243 for 10 seconds. I think that's best in slot because you are doing a lot of hots, heal over times, and they're ticking every second. And if, say, your DPS is at 100%, you have a really good likelihood of proccing and giving them some extra damage for free pretty easily. Let's see, another option is Combat Physician, which is a set that I really like for 4-mans, because when you crit heal a friendly target, which happens all the time, you give them a damage shield for 8,000 for 6 seconds that can appear every 6 seconds. So basically, every 7 seconds or so, you are putting an 8,000 damage shield on everybody. Let's see. Over in here, you'll see my stats. I have everything in Magicka. If I switch bars to go to my max, I'm at just under 43,000 max Magicka, 17,000 health, and 10,000 stamina. My spell damage is really low on this build. My spell critical's okay, but it's only okay if I switch to this set and put this on, which gives me Major Prophecy, which puts me at 53.5 on my heal bar set, which you will be on a fair bit, and increase my spell damage being on that bar. The 2 Mundus Stones I'm rocking is the Thief to boost up my spell critical, and the Ritual to increase my healing done by another 13%. Okay, the food I am using, because that's kind of important, is melon baked Parmesan pork to increase my max health and max Magicka for 1 hour. Useful stuff. Alright, so to the meat and potatoes of the build, we'll go over into the stats. On my damage bar, I am rocking Growing Swarm. That is it's 13,566 magic damage over 10 seconds. The benefit to that one is that 1.3k DPS as soon as it ends will spread up to 6 new targets for another 10 seconds dose of 13,566. And every time any one of those dies, you are healed for 1587 health times 6 on the second level of that. So it ends up stacking up pretty good, gives you some increased survivability and some very, very quick to cast DPS right here, because it takes that, and then you are able to lay down Ellie Wall, drop all that stuff, do whatever you choose you want to do. So you can see DPS right there without heavy attacking, just laying those down is about 46-ish hundred. And so not the best, but I mean that's without heavy attacking, which is another, about 2,000. So yeah, around 6,000-7,000 DPS AoE. If with this build you want to increase your DPS, if you're in a situation like a 4-man pug where the tank's got it handled, like nobody's really needing super heals, I would drop both of my ultis I'm currently using, pick up Feral Guardian for the extra almost 3,000 DPS to have, and use it with the heavy attack, put it on boss, put it on whoever, and just have it running around. Very useful stuff, very useful ulti, and a lot of fun to have the bear following you around. But yeah, so if you want more DPS, that's an easy way of doing it. For your ultis, actually on my destruction set ulti, I am using Healing Thicket. Basically, this is an immediate 9,500 health heal. The forest continues to heal you and all allies for about 5,000 every second for 6 seconds, so it's a very strong hot there. And when the effect ends, it does an additional just under 24,000 healing over 4 seconds. Very strong there. I'm also using, well, I already said Growing Storm, Blockade of Storms for that little bit increased duration, so I don't have to worry about it as much. Winter's Revenge for that snare, and a pretty solid damage over time as well. I'm using Blue Betty both for the free ability to remove a negative effect on me, and the fact that I can heal myself over and over for a small amount. As you can see there, 1.6 to 2.5, for free, just by summoning it over and over, and endlessly remove a negative effect. Also, I'm using Nature Embrace on both bars. This is your primary heal. If I switch to my healing bar, you'll see it does 32,000 over 10 seconds. So on base, that's 3,205 HPs a second for 10 seconds, which is actually doubled. So without any crits at all, it is 7,000 HP a second, both on the target you hit with it and you yourself. On this bar, I'm using Northern Storm as an ulti, which currently is increasing my max magicka by 8%. That increases the power of all of my heals by even more. My burst skill is Enchanted Growth. It heals for 9,194 health. Immediately, it also increases both resource regenerations by 10% for 20 seconds. So the main panic button that you would have is you Spiderman and hit your burst and then roll back out. Maybe throw a mutagen in there and your healing shard, which I should probably say what those skills are. So I'm doing mutagen. As you can see, I don't have yet on this character Restoration Staff maxed out or mutagen maxed out, but currently it is 20,000 heals over 20 seconds, so just about 1,000 HPs a second right there. And if somebody that's affected by it falls below 20% health, then it will immediately consume in just under 7,000 heals and remove a harmful effect. So very useful one to have on everybody. It's 2 casts to get it on everybody. And so basically you spam this twice, get it on everybody you want. Before a major fight, you would Spider-Man to all of your people real quick, give them that 10 seconds, hit everybody if you can with that to give them the minor intellect and minor endurance. Hit this, which is the skill Expansive Frost Cloak, which gives a major ward and major resolve for 22 seconds on everybody within 28 meters. That's one, you're just going to keep that up 100% of the time. It's got 28 meter range, so it's really easy to keep it up at all times because it reaches, it's huge. It goes to everybody, so very useful thing. So let's see, is that all the skills? I think that's all the skills. Yep. Alright, some variations that you can do. If you want a little bit more damage, you can swap in Deep Fissure for Blockade of Storms. That's a pretty strong hit at 10,000 damage, but takes 3 seconds to cast. Generally, if you are doing DPS, you would want to cast this, do a heavy attack, cast this again, apply both your dots, cast this again, heavy attack, cast this again, heavy attack, cast this again, heavy attack, cast this again, reapply your dots, and so on and so forth into infinity, because you can do it forever. You will have no resource problems. You would keep Blue Betty up at all times for the major sorcery to increase your critical, and as I said earlier, you switch both ultis out for Feral Guardian to have your bear up at all times. I am using a lightning staff as my damage staff because it's a bonus with the passive to AoE, and everything's AoE. And the mace fact that the heavy attack is an AoE in itself, even though they did nerf that particular aspect by a lot, rip, it still works out pretty darn well. Okay. Oh yeah, as I said, the rotation to this is to go in, hit your AoE, back out, maybe put the shield on. If it's a panic situation, you would shield them, you would teleport in, you would do this. The other benefit to that is, with doing that, is the shield counts as a heal, which would hit accelerate growth, which would give you major mending for 3 seconds, will increase the heals on Nature's Embrace by 25% and Enchanted Growth by 25%, because you'll do both of those within 3 seconds. Which makes it a pretty huge one. Also, always remember in Restoration Staff, which one is it? Essence Drain. When you complete a heavy attack, it also gives you major mending for 3 seconds. So just tossing those out does quite a bit. And it also does a little bit of a heal for everybody nearby. Yeah, and this passive will be very useful. All the passives. You want all the things. In Destruction Staff, the only ones you really need to have are Try, Focus, Ancient Knowledge. Feel free to pick the rest of them if you have the skill points to share. As this is a very young character, she does not rip. Other things to pick up would be Weakness to Elements and the Morph that makes it to where as long as you're doing damage, it keeps that Major Breach on them for the entire time. So you only have to cast it once, and it's a fire and forget about it, which I am definitely fond of. If you're looking for more DPS, Force Shock is an amazing skill. You can also switch that out with Dive from Animal Companions, which is another really hard hitter when it's maxed out and done at range. But that's all DPS stuff. This one's focus is Resto side. So other things that would be useful is, let's see. One of the morphs on Lotus Flower allows you to, it heals more. Living Vines is another good one because you can put this on the tank, and then the morph on this would, everyone that gets hit by that has this, that gets hit, everything that hits them while they have Living Vines has Lifesteal put on, which means everybody hitting that would then get some more heals incoming. I've switched that out with Healing Ward, and it's done very well, but I do like having Healing Ward over it because it is a shield and a decent heal, and yeah, it definitely helps in panic buttons, putting that little bit of shield until you can apply all your healings. And I am vampire on this build for the actual recovery and undeath to keep myself alive when shit goes bad, but that's about it. So yeah, this is a Spiderman build named after this a blast to use skill right here that does a pretty decent chunk of healing as well, and all kinds of trolliness can be happened. And if you haven't done it before, if you happen to be in a pug group with a tank that doesn't really know what's going on, hasn't tried to be with a Warden healer yet, they'll be up there tanking and you do this. Just the confusion is amazing of a troll, because they're just, no, healers go back there. No, bad healer, go away. You're like, no, I'm seriously, there's a reason I'm doing it. It's helpful, I promise. Don't judge me. Anyway, just teleporting around to all of your different friends in your group with this is really fun because the reactions you get are hilarious, and it's also the biggest heal you've got. It's a huge hot, so that's worth it just right there, in my opinion. But, and you could go water skiing too. Just have a really fast build, take off running, and you don't even have to move. You can just constantly go after them, so you don't have to move anymore. Just like, I won't be lazy. Go ahead and run me through this dungeon, Kai. Thank you. Water skiing. I'm healing. I'm doing my job. I'm a healer, see? Woohoo! Water skill. Catch his aerial, bruh. He ran me through that fence on purpose, I think. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the Spider-Man. As always, leave me a comment with any thoughts or opinions or things you think would work better on this build. It is not complete yet, Much thanks for Kai for showing up with his absolutely badass mask that I really want, and being a little heal dummy, and waterboarding, wakeboarding engine for us. And yes, subscribe if you haven't already to keep up with all the new stuffs. If you guys want to see a completed build on this, you think it has potential and you want me to go in depth, more than happy to put the time in to complete this build, get all the sets, and show you guys how it performs with the completion of it. And I will, if I do that, I'll probably go into a trial as a healer, as much as I don't want to, and see how it does in that. And yeah, do that. I also have planned some Battlegrounds build for the magic sork that I use, and was getting like 22 kills around earlier and was doing really well for me. It was a lot of fun to play. I'll put that one up if you want to see. I also have, as pretty much everybody does right now, a gank build for the Nightblade stamina that I'll happily put up if you guys are curious on what my twist to that build is. Just let me know in the comments below. If there's any type of build that you would like me to do, just let me know. I'm good for all the DPS one, healing ones. Sai over here is good for a different type, more sustained DPS and more tanky type builds, because I'm more of a burst, must die now type person, whereas he's much more patient than I am. But so leave those comments. As always, square up with the like button, like it's your favorite header. Let me know what you think about the Spider-Man build, and try it out yourself. See what you think and improve on it. Let me know the improvements. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. So I will see all of you next time. Later!